Hello, this is Pablo Zuanic, equity analyst covering the cannabis sector at Zuanic and Associates. I have the pleasure of having Ryan Crandall here. He's the Chief Commercial Officer at MariMed Holdings. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you for having me, Pablo.
So the objective of our call here is to discuss mostly MariMed's Delaware operations. The state went rec recently in early August. So Ryan, just set the stage for us here in terms of tell us about your Delaware operation.
Sure, Pablo, and thank you for having me on. Yeah, we're very excited about our Delaware operation. We are the largest operator in Delaware. We've been there for about 10 years, and medical first operator, large cultivation processing facility in the state, and large dispensaries in both Wilmington and Lewes, Delaware. Wilmington is relatively close to the border of Maryland. Wilmington, we're in Center City, Wilmington, so we've got a great location there, highly accessible for the people of Wilmington and surrounding areas. Well-known, dispensary that's been there a long time and has great customer service. Lewes is more isolated, but it really is the gateway to the beaches. If you know how the beaches work in Delaware, kind of Lewes is really kind of the entry point to the true Atlantic Ocean coast of beaches, and it's a hugely popular area for tourist traffic during the summer, and even really year round. It's becoming more of a location that people congregate. When we started, most of our operations were based out of a Wilmington facility. Cultivation, processing, edibles were all done out of that facility. As we've grown over time, we have a large cultivation processing facility now in Milford, Delaware, that houses all of our cultivation operations and all of the processing. We also are, eventually going to have our edibles out of Milford as well, but right now the edibles are made all out of Wilmington in a facility nearby our original facility. Reality was the preparation was all about adult use and making sure that our customers had our products, whether that was in our stores or in other people's stores. So that's the main focus is ramping our labor, our ability to produce high quality products at the lowest possible price, right? And really make sure that that's scalable and that we're ahead of the curve of the adult use sales. So we made sure our vaults were in healthy condition to be able to expand the wholesale at the same time that we knew our retails were going to have a good amount of growth as well. So it was really just about scaling the business from a people, process, and capability standpoint leading into the August launch of adult use. Last year there was about $44 million in revenue in the state of Delaware in 2024. That breaks down to about $3.7 million a month. In August of 2025, the first adult use month, we saw revenue of about 7.3 million, which is about 2x. So I think as we see more months come online and some of the other traffic considerations and those things, I think we'll land somewhere about 1.5 to 2x, maybe a little over 2x out of the gate. I'm very pleased with our store performance. I do believe that as consumer awareness grows, I do think there is a little bit of an awareness limitation in Delaware that this has even happened. So I think as more people find out, there'll be more visits to the stores. The last piece on it is, previous to adult use, Delaware did move down the path of reciprocity on the medical side. So we are starting to see more people come from out of state with medical cards, and they're able to shop at our stores and some of our peers' stores. And then we're also seeing that awareness on the adult use side. Anybody that's traveling there over 21 or lives locally, I think we're seeing an influx of those people being aware and then being comfortable enough to shop as times change. I agree with what you're saying. We haven't seen a lot of new operations open their doors yet, but pricing is very stable in the market. Even though it's a small state with relatively low number of stores, I would say that the pricing has held since adult use launched. Recently, Maryland had its conversion a couple years back, and we saw Ohio, and so I think one of the things that we really focus on is a multi-tiered approach to modeling out the business, and both from the cultivation side of things, from the processing side of things, from our wholesale, how are we going to approach customers with what products and when and why. So I think really understanding, what our capabilities are, making sure, we prioritize our retail first. We want to make sure that our retails are always in stock in our products. And then, in a perfect world, we have, all those products available on the wholesale side. So that has been the case in Delaware. Our modeling, our preparation really led us to, bringing on people at the right time, adding efficient capacity to produce our products, some new equipment, and it has all led to us being in a really, really excellent position to capitalize on the opportunity in front of us in Delaware. Today, there are 12 adult use stores in the state. There are 14 total stores. 2 of those are med only. We are in 100% of the adult use stores today. The 2 medical stores that are open, that are only medical, presently aren't purchasing anything wholesale. So we are in every store from an adult use perspective in the state, as well as the other medical stores that exist, as they do adult use and med. So, we have full coverage within the state, and I think we have a lot of opportunity to grow those stores. And then to your earlier point, we do expect more stores to come online. We are the largest wholesaler in the state. I would say with the best brand portfolio as well. We can certainly get into that if you'd like. But, I feel very confident that we're bringing high quality products to all these stores. And I think our reputation is really preceding us. It's opening the doors before we call on them. People are calling us. I do believe that'll change at some point, and we've got a really good sales team there that's excited to open new doors as they open and support these folks. It's not just about getting our products in the door. It's they have questions around how they can best do business in the state. So we operate in a consultative fashion with our clients even before they open the doors. We have all of our brands in Delaware today. So from Betty's Eddies to Bubby's Baked, to Nature's Heritage, to In-House, to Vibations, to First State Flour, and First State products. Those are legacy products that are part of the portfolio there. We have everything. I would say what's exciting is some of the innovation in those brands that we're launching in the state through the end of this year and into the beginning of next. Things like Microdose and some of the in-house gummy innovation that we're doing. So those are things we're adding to the portfolio kind of in real time right now. But every one of our brands is currently represented in Delaware. Well, I would say this: we're very focused on the pricing in neighboring states. And in this situation, it is Jersey and Maryland specifically. But we look at that in every state, and we're cognizant of it. And I would say it is a challenge. But I think most people are looking for convenience, and ultimately are going to, as long as the prices are respectively close or in line for the most part. I think people will make a decision that's more around convenience. I'm very impressed by Delaware, to be totally frank. I think they moved quickly once this thing once adult use did get approved. I feel like they moved pretty quickly to get this rolled out, and I was incredibly impressed by the specific people running the program. So the Commissioner Sandelin was fantastic. He did the first purchase at our Wilmington store. The Governor Meyer, and his whole staff visited our cultivation facility, and to really understand our preparation for adult use. And these folks are actively engaged in this program, and it's important to them that it's successful. So it really feels as though there's alignment between the government and the cannabis industry in Delaware, which is a breath of fresh air.
Right, which of course, in some states, it's been somewhat antagonistic, right, between the incumbents and the regulators. But Delaware is a good example of how the two parties can work well together and also bring in new licensees in the future.
Yes, I agree.